Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Wanted to reach out to everybody out there that's currently renting, that's ever thought about buying and wondered, hey, does buying a home make sense for me? And guys, I love numbers. I geek out about them. And this presentation I'm going to run through for you guys should be really exciting if you're currently renting and ever thought about actually buying a home and what it might look like for you and what it would do for you long term from a net worth and an overall wealth building standpoint. So, guys, I'm going to share my screen. Let's take a look at some numbers. Okay, so first of all, I've got three scenarios up here on the screen. First one, pretty straightforward, guys. We're going to compare you continuing to rent, say $1,500 a month in rent right now. We are going to compare that against two first-time home buyer options. The first one is a 3% down conventional loan. The second is a 3.5% down FHA transaction. Now, here's the thing, guys. What's kind of shocking is where we're going to actually look at a purchase price. So if you've been renting a single family home and you're paying $1,500 a month in rent, you could potentially look at purchasing a $250,000 home as a first-time home buyer. And we're going to take a look at those numbers and what that would cost. Now, first thing everybody's going to ask is there's going to be some costs associated with it. And guys, you are 100% correct. The first numbers that we have to cover is the down payment. Okay. On this purchase, roughly 7,500 to a little over 8,000 in down payment requirement for these two transactions. Okay. Now that can be personal funds or potentially gift funds from a family member to help take care of those costs. So it is cash that's going to need to be required for the transaction, guys, but it's not an astronomical number. With a little bit of time, a little bit of effort to put this together, home ownership could be a real possibility. But the thing of it is, we're looking at these transactions, and all three of these scenarios are roughly in the $1,500 a month range. So you could continue to rent and pay $1,500 or potentially buy a $250,000 house for essentially or very close to the same amount of money that you're spending every month right now. So now when we look at home ownership, guys, when you're making a rent payment, 100% of that payment is going to the landlord or to the property manager, however you want to look at it. When you are purchasing, there are multiple factors that go into this total monthly payment that we're looking at. You have a principal and interest payment that's part of that. You have a homeowner's insurance escrow, you have a property tax escrow, and some type of private mortgage insurance factor in the monthly payment. The numbers that you're looking at here in front of you are all in monthly payments. They include all of those things. But when we're looking at a comparison of renting versus buying, I want to net out that cost of home ownership, okay? And by doing so, when we're buying, this number that you're looking at here, roughly a little over $400 a month in your monthly payment, is going towards principal. The difference here, guys, is that's your money. You're paying that money to yourself on a monthly basis, growing equity by home ownership, by spending roughly that $400 a month. So I want to net out the cost of home ownership. All right. So when you're comparing it against renting for $1,500 a month, if you're owning, the cost of home ownership is roughly $1,100 to $1,200 a month. Okay. So we look at that net difference between those two. In either of the home purchasing situations, you are gaining yourself $326 to $400 a month in these two scenarios, guys. When we look at it over the long haul, when you're looking at paying rent long term, the average length of home ownership these days is around 7 years, as in the fact that you would own or maintain that home for 7 years. So if we compare that against rent over 84 months, you will see here that in 84 months, you're going to pay $126,000 to your landlord. Okay, that is cash out of your pocket going to someone else. In home ownership, you're looking at paying about $30,000 or $38,000 in principal to yourself. But we look at this last chart down here, guys. Over that 7-year period, you are not going to grow any personal wealth at all. You're not going to gain any equity. The home that you're living in is going to appreciate, but all of that appreciation is going to the landlord. And so when you look at it from a net worth or an equity standpoint, this last bar chart that we're looking at here, when you're renting, none of that comes to you. But if you're buying, you're looking at anywhere from $75,000 to $78,000 in equity and appreciation coming back into your pocket. This is what we're talking about, the use of home ownership to build wealth long-term, guys. And I know it's not necessarily long-term. It's a starter home. It's 7 years, but this gets the ball rolling, right? At the point in time you have $75,000 to $78,000 in net equity that you can then sell that home, convert that cash into an upgrade home, and we turn around and we do it all over again, guys. So if you've got questions on this, feel free to hit me up. I'm all over on social media. Look my phone number up. Give me a call, guys. I love to sit down and chat with folks about these numbers and the difference that it can make to stop renting and start being a homeowner. Guys, I hope this helps. I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Take care.